Hey YouTube, it's Stewart here from the Haydon Family YouTube channel. Back with another video. Today I'm going to be discussing the story about Mia before she was born and what I learnt the few days after having her. For those of you who don't know us, so I'm Stewart. We've got my wife Emily. We're parents to our baby girl Mia, who's now 7 months old. We have plenty of videos on the channel talking about our life experiences and some reviews of products for Mia. So if you want to go and hit that subscribe button, and then we'll continue on with the video. So I'll give you a bit of background story about Mia. Um, she is now 7 months old. When Em was pregnant with her, it was a great pregnancy up till our first little hurdle. Em had got gestational diabetes, which for those of you who don't know, it's diabetes which can just come on during pregnancy, and very similar principle to the rest of the diabetes. You have to check your blood sugars and watch what you're eating. So we had that diagnosed about something like 23, 24 weeks, something around about that time. So that made a big impact on sort of Em's diet, and then we had to have uh, more regular scans to make sure that Mia wasn't growing too fast. Fortunately, she wasn't, and that was all down to Em's hard work. She really, really did watch what she was eating very, very closely. A lot of people think, great, when I'm pregnant, I can eat for two and have fudge sauce on my chips for breakfast or something like that. But Em was amazing. She was very, very dedicated to what she ate. Um, so fortunately, Mia grew absolutely brilliantly. So there's no problems there. When during one of the scans, about a week or so, 2 weeks before Mia was due to come out, we went for one of our scans as usual. And when we were talking to the lady doing it, she was saying, "Oh, great, sizes are all as they should be." So me and Emma just sat there thinking, "Brilliant, everything's fine." And then she was like, "Oh, I think she's transitional lie." And again, for those of you who don't know what that means, Mia, or the baby, was lay across mom's tummy instead of being head down as they should be. She was like that for most of the pregnancy, then decided to pop back up and started to lay across Em instead, and spent the entire rest of the time just swimming around, obviously. But what this did mean was that Em had to spend the remainder of the pregnancy in hospital, just in case there was any issues. So Em did 10 nights in hospital, just being absolutely fantastically patient, making sure that Mia was okay. 10 nights in hospital. Then we had planned to have a normal pregnancy, but the way things were, it sort of changed, and we ended up having a C-section, which was fine. Mia came out perfect, mum perfect, brilliant. Um, we spent a couple of nights in hospital. What we thought at first was going to be a couple of nights in hospital. So we had her on a Friday, and then spent Friday night in and Saturday night in, and then Sunday came, and the midwife said, "Oh, we'll let you go today. We'll sign you out." And we thought, fantastic, we can start our little family together in our new home. Well, not our new home, but our new family in our home. But then unfortunately we had the disappointment of finding out that Mia had got jaundice, which meant another couple more nights in hospital, under lamps, trying to basically cook it out of her, if you like, and trying to get her feeding going great. That was tough. That was emotionally tough. You, as a dad, and I'm sure for a mum as well, you don't think of that. You just think about, I can't wait to get my family back home. But it wasn't the case with Mia, unfortunately. Um, but fortunately, in some ways, they did pick this thing up so that she's absolutely fine now. So yeah, we did another couple of nights in hospital, and we it was hard. It was hard. It was tiring, and Em was a miracle for already doing her 10 nights before this even started. She did amazing, and Mia was great. And then we had the time to, well, then had the time to get some tips on breastfeeding. So that was good. Mia, as I mentioned in one of the other videos, had got a tongue tie, which did make things harder. But we did mix feeding, so I could try and help where I could. Sorry. And then after a couple of nights in, we got the good news to go home. We actually got home on about midnight on that night, so we were proper shattered. And because Em had to go in so much earlier, sort of the preparations for when Mia had come back hadn't really been put in place just myself, because I was working, and then I was spending all the rest of the hours I could on an evening with them, keeping her company. And then unfortunately stuff like moving the snooze pod from one room to another room, that wasn't done, so I had to do it when I got back. And then the next morning I found that we hadn't really got much shopping in, even little things like that. So it was a case of pop into the shops and stuff like that. And one thing we very quickly realised is you get inundated with visitors, and not just family. It's brilliant seeing family, getting to see baby girl, to go to grandparents and aunties, uncles, and everybody else. That's the visitors, which are brilliant. But then you get swamped with midwives and health visitors, and it feels like every 2 seconds the door's being knocked, and you think, oh, please just let me enjoy the family, enjoy the time. But it was still a magical time, despite us having to be in hospital that little bit longer. And I suppose the point I'm trying to get to in this video is our pregnancy wasn't really rocky at all, but people have it a lot more rocky, and even people that don't. Guys, I enjoy it. It's amazing. It's amazing. But secondly, be there for your wife. Be there for your child as well, but be there for your wife, because it's so much harder for them. I found it very tough when Mia was had to stay in hospital. Like I said, we stayed with her. But I found it very tough when Mia had to stay in hospital. It wasn't what I envisioned in my head. At the time, I hadn't even heard of jaundice. Shows how much I know. So it wasn't what I envisioned, and I hadn't spent 10 nights before in the hospital like Em had. I hadn't spent 9 months carrying and growing a baby like Em had. I hadn't spent months completely and utterly watching what I ate, just because it made such a difference on how your baby was going to grow. I hadn't had that, and I found it tough. So I can't imagine how much harder it was for him. I tried my best to be good. I probably could have done more, but I did try. And guys, like I said, whether it's an easy, straightforward pregnancy or whether it's not, just look after your wife or your partner. I say wife a lot, partner, whoever it is. Look after them. Look after your child and enjoy it. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. This beaming smile I've got every single time I see Mia, this big beaming smile comes back out. I can't keep it away because I love her so much. Hopefully, that's today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed the story, maybe learned a bit from the story. We have plenty of other videos, as I've mentioned. We have reviews and different videos like this as well on the channel. So if you can subscribe, really appreciate it. Have a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.